Hello, hello, everybody. So you can see on the Facebook Live that it says 1P, and I have no idea why this doesn't just stay in my brain, but whenever I set the time here, it definitely adjusts it an hour ahead. So we are going live. We are going live now at noon. I know it's 12:04 for some of you guys, and it's 11:04 if you are here in the Central time zone. Let's see. I am getting one thing just really quick online. I just wanted to verify a color. And then we are just going to hop right into it. Okay. Just needed to double check my colors here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Kelly Walters. I'm an educator here at Stahls. Thank you so much for tuning in live on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're catching this on replay, so happy that you are able to take some time and check out this video. Hopefully it inspires you to think outside of the box, or it gives you an idea to move forward and give new ideas to your customers. As you can see, if you have tuned in before, I've rearranged yet again. I think that's just one of those things that I love to do. But you guys, I think I finally have the best setup so you guys can get multiple different views and angles on what we are doing. I really want to be able to provide you the best live stream experience. So let's get started. Quickly, I'm going to show you my views. That way you know exactly what's going on. Also, Stacy is on the other side for me. She is behind the scenes over at Stahls. So she will be posting in the comments all of the links to be able to find the products that we are talking about. If you are on YouTube and you do not see the links, then don't hesitate to reach out or comment below, and we'll make sure that you know exactly what products and colors that we are using today. Today, it's heat. It's heat. It's always heat. Most of the time it's heat. It is Cad-Cut Adhesive, and we are going to be using our foil on top of that. If you're new to Stahls and you have no idea what Cad-Cut is, it is our name for our heat transfer material for at least our solid rolls. So now, if you are new and tuning in, you know, we love to know where all of our viewers are coming from here in the States, overseas. Post below, that way we can say hello and good morning. So good morning, Chris. Good morning, Ronald. Hello, Lily's Crafts. Sean, nice to see you again. Sharon, thanks for commenting as well. Let's get started. Okay. We got a lineup today, people. These are the colors that we are using. We are using red foil, okay? We are using green foil. Like I said, let's get festive. We are using the silver pixie dust. So it's gonna pull a whole bunch of different colors. We're using black. You guys know I love tonal things, and of course, anything that is black or has a sheen to it, I just absolutely love it. And copper. Now, these four colors are going to be on one design, and then we are going to turn around and use the copper, black, and pixie dust on another. One thing that I absolutely love doing with our customers or anybody that's viewing for education and inspiration is trying to find a way to use the same products, but make them transitional throughout the year, and of course, different customers. It's always really important if you're going to do an investment or if you are really going to run with the business, let's make sure you can utilize as many products as possible, right? So the first view that I'm going to show you guys is, you can see that I do have the cutter right here, is right next to me rather than in front. Just going to unplug this cord so you don't see me go flying across the room. And then, of course, we do have the heat press. That way you can see everything that is going on. Now, one of the new views that you're going to be able to see is I have missed being able to lead for you guys. So right here are the garments. So you'll be able to see the weeding process and of course the peeling process. You know, that's really important to kind of watch how fluid everything goes. And I don't know about you, but it's really fun to watch the peeling process of vinyl. So I'm going to plug this back in to our cutter, put the foil down, and then what we're going to do is just quickly review art. Now, you guys, these are very simple. I used one of the templates that was already in CADworks Live. So for those of you that are not familiar with CADworks Live, it's CADworks live.com. And it is the website that I use for all of the creation of any type of art that I do. Whether it's a live or it is something that's pre-recorded, this is where I do all of my design work. And whether you're bringing in a file that you have either created in Adobe or Corel, you can still import that file. Or if you are paying, you know, to use somebody's services, you can still import that file. So really quick, I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. If I can get to it. Let me get out of that one. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's simplify this. All right, you guys. So as you can see, we have Mary repeated 4 times. Like I said, I wanted to keep it simple. Sometimes some of the best art is very, very clean, and that's where the beauty of heat transfer vinyl comes in. You can really change and enhance the design just by simply changing the media that you're using when it comes to anything heat transfer. Now, as you can see, I have just used one font. We've repeated it 4 times, and then I actually just did the outline of one of the fonts just because I wanted to change it up just a smidge. Now, if you're curious what font I am using, that I have to zoom into my computer. This is Alberta Black. My computer is definitely a little bit further away from me today, so this looks like a tiny, tiny little screen. So again, I used Mary. Just repeated it 4 times. So very, very simple and easy to do. Now, this other art that I have created here it's BMW Mustangs. I just added, you know, a rectangle box around it, and then of course a horseshoe. This BMW and Mustangs is actually already a template in CADworks Live. Now, the only difference with that is I actually took the BMW that was away or above it out, and I turned it into a school. Now, obviously, let's go ahead and just quickly not make it say BMW. So all I'm doing is I just double clicked on the font itself, and then I am going to change it to SHS. We'll just keep it easy. Takes a minute just to kind of, you know, switch up the text, especially if you have slow Wi-Fi, and I feel like that is everybody in the world right now. Another easy thing that you can do on CADworks is easily change the style of the font. So what I am going to do is just, you know, I want a little bit more of a block. So let's see what that does to my sizing. I don't like that one either. Let's check. You probably can't see this, so that's not going to help you. Okay, you guys, so since you couldn't see it, all I did was double click on this BMW side. So sorry you couldn't see what I was doing. And we are just going to go through a couple of fonts. I have imported my own fonts that I really like to use. So no, I don't want to use that one. Let's go to this one. See if we can get my mouse to work. thinking so slowly today. Wow. I should be hardwired in. All right, we might have to just go back to Alberta. Let's see. Oh, no, that was a different one. All right, I'm going to just stretch this font out just a little bit. I had a completely different font earlier, but that is okay. So you can see that I have just completely changed the font. I've stretched the font. I've just manipulated it to be exactly where I want and what I want to do with it. Now I'm just going through and making sure there's a couple of things that are centered before we get going. Anyway, template, font, very, very, very simple art today. All right. The next thing that we need to do is send this art over to VectorCut. VectorCut is the software that I use with our Roland GS24. That is the cutter that I will be using and that I am always using in any of my education and lives. And so once I hit send to VectorCut, which is a plugin, you will actually not be able to see what I'm doing from there. So give me just a minute and I will close out this screen and then show a new screen. Okay, so this is VectorCut. And from here, I'm going to actually go ahead and let you see two things that I am doing. I may have to be on here. Let's see. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm trying to get it to where you don't have... Oh, wow. I'm all over the place. Okay. Well, I'm going to show you the art, and then we will load the cutter. And then from there, you won't be able to see me select each color, but I will show you how I am going to do it right now. That way, when I go to the cutter, I'm just going to select the button, but you can watch how quickly the GS24 is going to cut this. All right, so I need to zoom in because those are very, very small. The next thing that we need to do is make sure that everything is mirrored. So from here, I'm going to hit this mirror button and it is going to completely mirror the art. That way, when the file is cut and we weed from the back side, that carrier will lay on top of the garment. And when we peel away the carrier, it will be the correct image. Now, here's the beauty of adhesive. All you have to do is just cut one color. You do not have to worry about cutting 6 different colors that we have going on. Now with adhesive, it is a smaller roll. So I am going to go ahead and just select this art and bring it up to the top. I know I'm going to have to shrink down my width of my material, and I may even have to reposition this art. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here, and then I'm going to come over to our cutter. I'm just going to wheel this guy up just a little bit. All right, I have already put, our material through the GS24. And now I'm just going to step in front of it and then make sure that our material is going to be under the pinch rollers and then, of course, lined up on these little white bars. All right, this will keep the material in place. So all I've done is just flip this little lever. It's going to hold it in tight. And then over here, I am just selecting that I want to go to the edge of the material. And then the next thing that I need to do is make sure that my pressure is correct, or excuse me, my downforce. So I'm just hitting a little test button, grabbing my weeder, gonna come over here. All right, everything is cutting smoothly, but I just want to see if I go up just a little bit in force, if that's just going to make it a little bit easier to weed. And of course, I'm pretty sure I have an old weeder because this guy is not sharp whatsoever. All righty. Okay, I have about 3 laying around here. And of course, the one that I wanted was not in the correct spot. Okay, so this was just a little bit easier for me to weed. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it at 80 grams of force. And then I'm going to shoot the material down just a little bit. Instead of basically unlatching this or completely, resetting the material back up, all I'm doing is just, I'm going to retell the GS24 where my starting point is by hitting the origin button. So very, very easy to do. Now, like I said, in our vector cut, I was going to have to go ahead and adjust the width of that material that was stated in vector cut. And I do. I need to take it down to, let's see, it says 10.6. And then that means that I am going to actually rotate all of my art. The way you guys can see what I'm doing, I popped it back up for you. So I've just rotated my art. I want to make sure that everything fits within the size of my roll. So now we're just going vertical, rather than horizontal. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit to, just really maximize the entire space. And then the other thing, we don't need to touch the Mary because this is, again, all just one color of material. All right, I'm going to hit send cut job, and then it's going to get started. Well, it would if I had it plugged in. There we go. Okay, now you can see it in action. Okay, I'm going to take a minute and check comments. Let's see if we have anything going on. Hello from Oregon, Ontario, Cali, Casey, Baser. Yeah, I'm in Kansas, so that's why you get a little extra hype. All right, so if you are just tuning in, you guys, this is our Cad-Cut Adhesive. All we need is to do one design, and then we're going to come in and use multiple different foil colors to then create a full color design. Right now it is cutting out Mary, the whole Mary font, and then it will soon go to the next design. Let's personalize it. Hello and welcome. Thanks for tuning in from the UK. It's all right. You can be late to the party. You can always show up. It's always good. Yes, foils are so much fun. If you want to tune in after this is complete and see what we were talking about at the very beginning, definitely go back and hit replay. Okay, you guys, I am going to go ahead and remove the vector cut screen. We are done with it, so I'm going to stop sharing it. While this is finishing, let's go to Stahls.com and check out where you can find the materials, find the foils, and exactly what you need to, create and bring this art to life. Or maybe you have other designs in mind. This will provide you the direct location. And of course, you can click the links down at the comment that Stacy is putting in, and it will take you directly to that as well. Okay, so I'm going to go to, All right, Stahls.com, Stahls.com. As you can see, what you're going to do when you arrive, let's see, it's taking just a minute. I went to the home page. Right here under the Stahls logo, you'll find Cad-Cut Direct. Just select that. Then you'll go to Heat Transfer Vinyl. These are alphabetized here on the side. So if you are like me and you want really, really quick go-to spots, go to the adhesive first, because that is actually the vinyl itself. And then you will be able to see that you can go to the details. It'll tell you how to cut it. It'll go over application instructions. Everything you need to be successful with this material is right here on our website. Now, the other beautiful thing about this is it's going to tell you what other materials you need. So right here, it says Stahls Heat Transfer Foil. Click that. And then it will take you right over to the foil. You can add all of these into your cart and you will be good to go. Now, the only thing is it doesn't have a color grid like our heat transfer vinyl colors normally do. This is all going to be by a scroll bar and selection. However, don't you worry. You can come over here and download the at a glance, and it will, both of these will, the at a glance will show you how to use it, and then the full color chart will show you all of the crazy colors. So as you can see, we're going to be using the copper, the green, the red. I like that black, that just really shiny, rich black color. And then I have the silver pixie dust. Sorry, I couldn't find it. So right here, there are so many different silvers to choose from. Most of them are, going to have that rainbow effect and pick up different colors depending on where the light is hitting it. And of course, there's just the regular bright silver as well. Okay, so we're done cutting. I'm going to cut this off of the cutter and then bring it over here, and then you'll be able to check out the whole weeding process. I wish I kind of had another light, because it's a clear material, and sometimes it's just a little bit harder to tell. Now, I recorded yesterday, and I don't have scissors. There's always one thing. Okay, got my scissors. Just going to untake this out of the roll. So what I like to do is just go ahead and start rolling the roll just a little bit to see where we are at. I'm going to pop up this. Now you can see it. So as you can see, it's very clear. Well, it's more of a frosted clear than anything. I do have a cut or an outline box around this. I'm going to move my mouse out of the way so we have as much room as possible. And now I've got my weeding tool. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is start with the box. Now, with this being a very tacky carrier, one way to kind of help speed up the process, trying to see everything here, would be to just lightly lay it. Actually, I'm going to do that so you guys can see. All right, so what I'm going to do is, let's see. Oh, Andy, good idea, putting a dark material under it so you can see. So my heat press is set at 300 degrees. It has pretty much, it's radiated heat all the way down to the platen. So this platen is already warm. I don't really need to do anything else to warm it up. But what I'm going to do now is just start heating. And what this does is it actually helps release the, I'm not going to say this correctly. It helps make the tackiness on the carrier not as rigid. So it feels a little more gummy now that it's warm, but it just helps the carrier release from that material just a little bit better and easier. Now, if you are dealing with a very, very detailed design, today is not, today is very simple, then I would just caution you to really not keep it on there that long. Because remember, if you've got those tiny little dots, those eyes, I'm thinking something like a whisker. You want to make sure that those tiny fine lines, those stins, I'm just going to toss all this on the ground. You want to make sure that those actually stay adhered on, you know, are stuck to the carrier. I'm doing a terrible job of reading this, so if this is if this is painful to see, I'm sorry. Let's see. I can't get a good start on the material to where it just goes. Everything right now is so thin and tiny. It is tearing just a little bit. So I'm going to go in and try to get as much in the mass that I can. And then I'll go in and get those tiny little cavities. Now with the Mary, the only thing that we really need to weed is the outline of the second Mary. Because I chose to do the outline, we will have to remove the cavities on the inside of that. But for the most part, you got that R and that is it. So again, when it comes to the timeline of production and using 4 different colors with foil, it just makes it that much easier. Those of you that have tried our Cad-Cut Adhesive and Foil, what is your favorite color to use? Because, you know, I really like the black just because it has that shine. But I'm always curious what your favorite colors are. Do you prefer just the silver and gold? Do you like the colors? Do you mix your, with solid color materials, or do you tend to just stay all adhesive because it's so easy to use? Let me know, state it in the comments. And then now I am weeding out the main part of our SHS. So keep in mind, while this is, tearing just a little bit, instead of having to line up 3 or 4 different colors, run all that material through the cutter, this is exactly why adhesive and foil is so awesome to use, because it's one art that you have to weed. Ooh, sticks to me. All right, I am just taking out the tiny little cavities in the script of Mustangs. We are almost done here. Okay, now I will get the cavities of Mary. Can somebody remind me to order a new weeder? Somebody send me a message whenever you get done. Order a new weeder. Okay, now I am taking out the inside of the letter. That way we can have that outline for Mary. One more, we're on Y, and then we are done. Okay, she's complete. Okay, guys, this is what our adhesive looks like once it's done. You can see you've got my the test cuts right here, but we've got this is, oh, there we go. I'll just put it in front of me. We've got Mary 4 times, and then we've got the SHS with the Mustangs, and then the horseshoe. Now, because some of these are definitely smaller, if you're using foil, make sure you are mindful on how you're going to get those colors situated if you just want to do 1 or 2 hits on the material. That's one thing I was definitely taking into consideration with the SHS and the Mustangs, because I don't want the foil to overlap onto another part of the adhesive, because it will stay on there. Once it's adhered, it is adhered. So I'm going to go ahead and show this bottom portion now, that way you guys can just see what I'm doing. If you are not new to heat transfer vinyl, then you know exactly what the whole cutting at the transfer looks like, but I'm just going to show you how I am prepping this. Now, the other thing is, because I didn't choose to weed, pull that extra material, just make sure that you don't have any adhesive on the outside as well, because like I said, you will see that extra foil. Another thing I would recommend is just quickly scanning over your art, that there isn't just a little cavity that maybe you've weeded out something, and it's just randomly appeared back onto your transfer. You don't want that random spot, because it has happened. Okay, now you can see this Mary just a little bit more up close. As soon as we are done trimming, I will go over the products, you guys, and show you what fun stuff we're going to make today. I will say there are times that I almost prefer just weeding this portion, but because I know how sticky this carrier is, pun intended. Let me see. Oh, Patty, I'm checking. Sorry, I'm checking out the comments as they're coming in. Did I say something? Was it me, Patty, or did you say something? Because if I didn't catch it, and normally I do if I have some type of pun come out of my mouth. Okay, so our 2 designs are done, ready to go. All right, guys. So Mary, done, cut. SHS, Mustangs, done and cut. I'm going to set those off to the front. Now, today, I have a little bit more of a unique piece. I really wanted to, I'm going to move this cutter out of my way. We do a ton of sweatshirts. We do a ton of fleece, long sleeve, polo. But today, it is it's fleece, but it's a poncho, you guys. This is a poncho from S&S Activewear. It is MV Sport. It seriously feels like a blanket. As you can see, it looks like a blanket. This is me holding it vertically just so you can see how long and big this is. But there's a couple of things that you could do with this, or use this for, I guess, is a better way to phrase it. You could easily turn this into a fanwear piece. Today, this is not our fanwear piece. This is going to be the Mary. With it getting colder and colder, Christmas is coming, the holidays are coming. Those of you that like to be a little festive, this is a great option. I know ugly sweaters are a fun party, but maybe you just want to be cozy, or I've now heard that there's more and more jammy parties. I would rock this with some leggings, because this feels like I'm wearing a blanket. I cannot remember. Oh, Snuggie. This is like an updated version of the Snuggie. So again, it's MV Sport, S&S Activewear. It is a little bit higher price point of an item, but you have to think that it's not just a sweatshirt. It is like wearing a blanket. So if you're looking for some new holiday ideas, this would be really fun to give to somebody, especially because it has a pocket and everybody loves pockets. Okay, the next item that we are doing is an alternative apparel piece. This is the color wine. It does have the burnout effect, but I will tell you there's actually no like burnt out pieces in it. Something that kind of concerns me, that always concerned me personally with burnout items, is that you can actually see through the garment because it is a burnout. This one is still very plush and soft, and no, you cannot see through it. It's just the name of the garment. With the light hitting through, I can still see a little bit of how, they removed a little bit of the texture. But you guys, it's alternative apparel. Their stuff is always extremely soft. And again, this is the color wine. It's more of the maroon. So we are going to go ahead and start with this piece first. I am going to open this up, thread it, and then just make sure that our collar is off of the platen. Now, here's the thing about adhesive and the foil. The adhesive applies very, very, very light pressure, like 1 to 2 pounds. It also applies for 5 seconds. It is a hot peel. And then the foil applies 8 to 10 seconds, heavy pressure, cold peel. So we are going to go ahead and get the adhesive on here, apply the foil. I'm going to set it aside, and then we will do the poncho, and then I can go and peel the foil once it's done on this item, and then we'll be able to peel the foil once it's done on the poncho. Okay, I am just going to step in front and make sure that we are as centered as possible. And I need a cover sheet. 1 second. Okay. Now that we can get ourselves together on this Tuesday morning, I recorded yesterday, and apparently everything is all out of whack where my recording space is. So I'm going to go ahead and just pre-press on this. At the time, I can also check and make sure that our pressure is at a 1 to 2. I'm at 4, so once this automatically opens, I do need to adjust that. And I'm just going to test it again. Okay, we are at a 1. Okay, now that we have pre-pressed, I'm going to take our SHS. Easy design to figure out where the middle is. So I am just going to match up those corners, crease it. I go about 3 fingers down. And then I'm going to lift the tag and then just follow through. Seeing if you guys can see this or not. I'm just going to follow through where that point is, or that line is. All righty. Yeah, 3 to 5 seconds. Sorry, he's checking my board. Okay, done. Stop touching it. Again, 5 seconds. We are now on a 2 pressure, so that's good. Like I said, this is a hot peel. So I'm just going to be very careful pulling this away. I don't want the adhesive to adjust in any way. All right, now the fun part, you guys. So because we are going in sections, the one thing you will need to do is make sure that when you are layering something like this, you start with the smallest pieces. That's the easiest way for me to do it. And then because we have this outline box, I am going to put just one large piece over that and basically encapsulate everything. So I'm going to set this one to the side. I'm going to take the black. Don't really remember the colors I had on this, so we're just gonna do it as we go, right? Now, this is not for any particular school. So in this case, if you were doing red, say red, white, and blue, navy, silver, and maybe the garment was Columbia with heather gray, you can just kind of adjust how you need to. All right, I am going to make the line and the Mustangs that we can no longer see. I'm going to see if I can move you guys. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to make this copper. So I'm going to cut a narrow sleeve off of this. Okay. And then all you do is just set it on top. So I'm going to come in here. Need to go just a little bit thinner. So here. I feel like I'm performing surgery. Okay, I'm going to step in front of the camera, guys. Bear with me. Now, the other good thing is once you put your foil on top of your adhesive, it doesn't just stick. So if you need to move anything around, you can. There's no problem to that. I need to keep going slimmer. Okay. All right. One more little sliver. There we go. The hardest part for me was just making sure that the horseshoe was not touching that adhesive. Let's cut just a little bit more. Okay, it's done. It's gonna look so good when it is finished. Okay, so we have the line with the Mustangs in the copper. This one will be much easier because it's covering a bigger space. Now, I personally like to cut a little bit and then just keep working down the sides. Well, okay, I've got it just a little too small, so I am going to take a little sliver that I had and add it on there. And then now that full design is covered. Now the horseshoe, I'm going to do black as well. So I'm just going to, you guys can't see half of what I'm cutting. There we go. And then this part, I am just going to cut a little bit of an arch out of because we do have the arch in that horseshoe. It's funny because you, let's see, you do some of it. All right, now the easy part is going to take our pixie dust. brand new foils, you guys, I wanted you to see exactly how this whole process works. And like I said, I am just going to cut a big piece. This is the easiest one. It's going to lay on top. And it's going to cover everything just like that. All right, here's where it's important. You need to make sure that you cranked up your pressure. Adding the cover sheet back over. And then this is actually going to go for 10 seconds, but instead of me adjusting the platen, or excuse me, the countdown, I'm just going to do it twice for 2 hits. Now, the thing with foil, if you have to go back over it at any point, you do almost mat down your foil. So keep in mind that if you're doing 2 colors and you wanted to do 2 individual hits, like a little piece here, and you wanted to go in and do the crinkle effect, which I will explain in just a little bit, you will have more texture than you previously would with your first hit. All right, like I said, this guy is going to sit and cool down. So we're just going to drape him over the cutter. Let's see. And then for our wonderful blanket. Now, normally I would use a pillow because we want to get as many seams off of the press. But in this case, I'm not going to dig out my pillow. Just keep in mind that for best practices, it is to make sure that you have as many seams off of the platen as possible. You know what? Let's see if we can get it this way. That's a little better. Making it work. Okay, so for me, I'm going to use the V-neck on, or where the hoodie is, as my center. Transfer. Middle point. Okay, I have creased it. Now, with this, I really wanted to maximize the whole chest area from where the pocket is. So I am going to have this, I'm still at about 3 fingers. Let's see. All right, I am loosening back up our pressure. Five seconds for this. Hot peel. And again, I'm just going as light as possible. Okay. Now, where this artwork is just a little bit easier than the one prior is I'm just cutting strips. I'm not going to have to worry about, I've got a little horseshoe in the middle of this design. It needs to be perfect. In this case, I just want to keep my lines as thin as possible or straight as possible. Okay, so I know I want black to be the bottom. And all I'm doing is just making sure that I leave space. Am I ready? I just want to leave space, just enough space when I put the line of the foil over there that it keeps it, nice and clean and easy. Okay, I am going to start with red at the top. And then I'm going to go copper, and then I'm going to go green. Okay, so there's my red. Almost done. Has anybody started decorating? I keep looking over here for the camera. Has anybody started decorating Christmas? Are we bypassing Thanksgiving? Like, do we have a protocol on this? All right, we've got one more. Now, once you start laying your foils out, they don't have to be so precise in the size, because if one is already covered, you don't have to worry about perfectly, creating that, oh my gosh, it has to be 2 inches in width space. Now, for production purposes, it would be so much easier if you communicated to your production team that, these letters are 2 inches height, and then you could go ahead and just create 2-inch strips, and then bam, 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 bam. Okay, this is all laid on there. Like I said, we need to go back up to higher pressure. We're going to go for 5 seconds. And then we will come in and go for another 5 seconds. Perfect. Okay. While that is cooling down, I'm going to let it sit there for a minute. We're going to take the others over and then start peeling. Hello, hello. Are you guys as excited as me to see these? I think it's going to look really, really good. Okay, so I have a scraps galore. If you are like me and you have a small area where you do production, I always save these until after my job is done, because if I'm putting scraps on the floor, I use these and I just go all over the floor and it sticks to them. I like little tips and tricks. So hopefully if you don't do that and you were trying to think of a way to that it helps you, otherwise if you already do it, then I salute you. So, okay, I'm clearing off my table, you guys. Let's see what we got. Now, I am going to see if we can just double view this. Yeah. Sometimes the camera works great and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so production. It's not a hot peel. I want to be able to peel it immediately. No, just do set aside, press set aside, set aside. And then at the end, right before you are getting ready to verify everything, you can then just peel. So one thing that you can always do to also cool down is just sit here and, shake the shirt. Most of the time, the foil will start to peel off. As you can see, our outline of, there we go. Hold on. Outline of the box. There's part of our horseshoe. There's our SHS. Oh, as you can see right here, I did miss the Mustang, and so you do have just a little bit of black right here and right here. So one of the things why I was saying, just make sure that when you are doing this, that you are not as just random at placing. I'm trying to get this as a good angle for you. There we go. So very, very shiny. It is all foil, but I think as a whole, this turned out awesome. I really, really love, just clean and easy designs. You can see that the pixie dust is really just picking up more and more colors. And especially with this being a wine colored crew neck, you know, why not? I'm trying to see. There we go. There we go. You can see it. Why not bring out as much color as possible with also staying true to school color? So I cannot wait to see the Mary Mary. I love it. Hopefully you guys liked the idea of this, or at least know a way to kind of put that into your business. Let's see. My computer is of course dying. I didn't bring my charger down. Okay, last one. This has pretty much cooled down. I'm gonna just cool it down just a little bit more. Okay. Add that back on there. Like, which one's on top? Okay, there's our Mary red. So super, super easy. You can easily put this on a Bella canvas. You could make this into a hoodie and really run with it in that aspect. So as you can see, this is the final product of our poncho. So very retail inspired, but also something that is very simple. You could take this print, take that art and put it on the back of a full zip, and then maybe put like Santa's outline face or Christmas tree outline. If you are interested in doing more foil, you want to bring more of that adhesive and foil into your business, Jenna did a video on YouTube that shows you 5 different ways to actually play and maneuver the foil. So you can crinkle it. You can do the random sections like we did. The crinkling, it gives it a distressed effect, which makes it kind of veiny. And then you add that second color on top. So go check out her video. It is on YouTube. It's very quick, but hopefully it will give you some other inspiration on how you can really, make foil unique and work for your business. I think that's pretty much it, guys. We're not going to go over our costs today because you have all of the items. I also showed you exactly where to find the Cad-Cut Adhesive on Stahls.com. So go check it out. Go grab it. I'm Kelly Walters, and thanks so much for tuning in live with me today and going over our Stahls Cad-Cut Adhesive and our foil. Have a wonderful Tuesday. See you next week. Bye.